Okay, so today we're diving into something called the Bat and the Owl, Vast Existence Theory 1. Um,
Sounds intense.
yeah, it's one of those things that it sounds kind of simple on the surface, right? A bat, an owl, but
Right.
there's some pretty deep stuff in here, and we're gonna try to unpack it today.
Absolutely.
And the way they go about it in this story, or I guess I shouldn't even say story, it's more of a narrative,
Hmm.
is they really cleverly use these two creatures to talk about self-awareness and how everything is interconnected
Right. Yeah.
and the idea of like living a really meaningful life.
Yeah. Finding that purpose.
Yeah, and we're gonna look at all that through the lens of this interaction between these two creatures. So to get started, the story opens up with this little fruit bat, and he's on the Swedish coast, and all he's doing is just gathering cherries.
Just nonstop.
Yeah, yeah, just like going crazy, just cherries, 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 and it kind of made me wonder, like, what's really going on in his little bat brain? Like, is it purely instinct, like he just has to survive and that's it?
Yeah. Is that the whole story?
Or is there maybe like a glimmer of something more there?
Right. Is he even aware of anything else around him?
Exactly. Like, does he even notice he's like right next to this huge ocean? Does he feel the wind? Is he aware of anything other than gotta get those cherries?
Hmm.
And
And that's really how he's initially presented, right? Pure instinct, survival mode.
yeah, yeah. And the story doesn't really answer that question directly, but it definitely gets you thinking.
It does. It makes you wonder about the limits of that kind of existence.
Right. And then we're introduced to the owl. And he's, like owls do, he's perched up high in this old tree and he's watching the bat. Like he's just observing this frenzy of cherry gathering activity.
Mhm.
And the narrative mentions that the owl kind of sees himself in the bat.
Yeah.
Like he remembers being that driven, that single-minded.
Right. Like he recognizes that stage of life.
Yeah. And I thought that was such a powerful image. Like the owl has clearly lived a lot longer,
Yeah.
right? He's had time to reflect, to gain wisdom, and he can see the potential pitfalls of that kind of narrow focus.
Yeah, he's looking back and thinking, been there, done that, not sure it was all it was cracked up to be.
Yeah, and maybe realizing that there's more to life than just fulfilling those immediate needs.
Right. And the owl, I think, senses that there's something more to the bat, too. Like there's this potential for something greater.
Absolutely. And this is where the story takes this really interesting turn. So the owl, like he just feels this urge to share some of his wisdom, like to guide the bat toward this bigger understanding of things.
Yeah, like he sees himself as a mentor.
Yeah. And the word that he uses, the thing that he focuses on is asleep.
Right.
And this word really hits the bat hard.
Like a wake up call almost.
Yeah, because suddenly the bat becomes aware of this cycle that he's been trapped in, right?
Yeah.
Gathering, sleeping, repeating, just like a never-ending loop.
Like he's a cog in a machine.
Exactly. The narrative even says he feels like just another cog in nature's wheel. And it makes you think about those times in our own lives, right? When we get stuck in a rut, just going through the motions.
Absolutely. And it raises the question, what does it mean to be truly awake?
Right. Like, what does it take to break free from that cycle? And I think that's what the owl is trying to show the bat.
Yeah, he's offering him a different way of seeing things.
And that's where the whole idea of self-awareness comes in. The owl really stresses this, like, you have to pay attention to yourself, to your thoughts, to your feelings.
Right, to really understand what's driving you.
Exactly. And so the bat starts doing this. He actually starts observing his own behavior. Like, why am I doing this? What am I feeling right now? Like, noticing all these things that he probably never even thought about before.
Yeah, like he's stepping outside of himself.
Yeah. Yeah, like he's suddenly aware of his own mind.
Yeah.
And it's this incredible transformation. It's like he's seeing the world for the first time.
Right. And realizing that he has more control than he thought.
Exactly. He's not just a puppet of his instincts anymore. He can actually make choices.
And that's a huge step towards freedom.
It is. And this leads to this whole new understanding of the world. Like before it was just about the cherries, right? It was just a place to find food. But now he sees it as this incredible interconnected system.
Yeah, the owl talks about it as a tapestry of meaning, a symphony of interconnectedness.
Yeah, like everything is connected, everything has a purpose, and the bat starts noticing all these things he never noticed before, like the sky, the moon, the wind. He starts to see the beauty in everything.
Yeah, he's not just surviving anymore, he's experiencing life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he wants to share this with everyone. He gets so excited he wants all the other bats to see what he's seeing.
Which is another sign of his growth, right? He's not just focused on himself anymore, he wants to help others.
Totally. And that's when the owl introduces this idea of the cosmic law, this underlying principle of interconnectedness.
Like the glue that holds everything together.
Yeah. He says that everything, every living thing, every star, every grain of sand is all part of this one big tapestry.
And that we're not separate, we're all threads in that tapestry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And within this framework, the owl talks about fulfilling your potential. It's not just about getting by, it's about finding your place in this grand design.
Right, like each of us has a unique role to play.
Yeah. And for the bat, it's about soaring, experiencing the world, sharing his knowledge. And for the owl, it's about guiding others, imparting wisdom.
And it's not about what you do necessarily, it's about how you do it.
Exactly. It's about living with intention, aligning yourself with that cosmic flow.
And that's what really transforms the bat. He goes from this limited, self-centered perspective to this expansive view of interconnectedness.
Yeah. And he finally feels like he's living his best life. He's happy, he's fulfilled, he's found his purpose.
And he asks the owl, like, how do I really live this to the fullest?
And the owl gives him this advice: live with intention.
Simple but powerful.
It is. He says, make sure every action reflects your understanding of the world. Appreciate the beauty around you, and most importantly, share what you've learned.
Don't keep it to yourself. Spread the knowledge.
Exactly. And the bat, he's so inspired. He vows to live a life worthy of this awakening.
It's a beautiful ending to this part of the narrative.
It is. So to kind of sum up what we've talked about today, we've seen this amazing transformation, right? This journey from pure instinct to self-awareness.
And the realization that we're all interconnected.
Yeah. And that to truly live a meaningful life, you have to live with intention. Find your place in that grand tapestry.
It's about waking up, basically.
It is. So to leave you with something to think about, we want you to consider the cherry trees in your own life.
Yeah.
What are those things, those habits, those routines that might be blinding you to the bigger picture?
What's keeping you focused on just surviving instead of really living?
Yeah. And how can you cultivate that self-awareness, like the bat did, to discover your own purpose, your own connection to everything around you? Because there's a whole universe out there waiting to be explored.
And it all starts with waking up.
It does.